One thing I notice that we are afraid of, and that is being silent. We are afraid of sitting in our own power of silence. What I've noticed about women in menopause and perimenopause is that the silence can be scary because there are so many things that happen in the silence, and it can be overwhelming. Don't get me wrong, it can be completely overwhelming. But here are three things I want to share with you why silence is so important to you, sis. Silence is so important as you're going through perimenopause and menopause. And I want to give you three reasons why. And when you stick around to the end, I may just have a fourth one. When I was in my counseling program, in my doctoral program, one of the things that we learned as therapists is not to talk so much. When we see our clients sitting in silence, there is work being done in the silence. But culture has taught us that there has to be noise. Culture has taught us that we have to be doing something. But here's the problem with that. When you're so busy doing, you forget to be. And when we are being silent, it grows us and it teaches us. So here are three things that I want you to think about when you think of silence, because there's work that's done in silence. Here's the first thing. Here's the first reason why silence is so important. Silence teaches us how to drown out distractions. The world is so distracting, from our cell phones to our laptops to the TV to YouTube to Netflix to Facebook to social media, IG, all of that. Oh my God. We are just bombarded with so much stuff that's coming at us. And the distractions can get so loud for us sometimes. But silence teaches us how to drown out those distractions. And as a woman who's in perimenopause and menopause, there are times when you need to learn how to drown out those distractions, because distractions can keep you from moving forward. Distractions can keep you stuck. Distractions can keep you traumatized. And so we want to make sure that we're spending time every single day in silence, because silence teaches us how to drown out distractions. Here's the second thing that silence teaches us. Silence teaches us how to reframe, reshape, and refocus our attention and our thinking. How many of us actually have stories that we keep telling ourselves over and over and over again? The story that we tell ourselves are not necessarily true stories. Many of us have reels playing, or if you older like me, cassette tapes. And we ain't gonna talk about 8 tracks, but we're gonna talk about cassette tapes that are on rewind over and over and over again. And they're telling us the same story over and over again. And those stories help to frame, shape, and focus our attention and our thinking. And so silence teaches us that we can reframe, reshape, and refocus our attention and our thinking, and we can take our thoughts off of things that are not true. See those chairs sitting behind me? I have women that sit in those chairs as I'm coaching and counseling them. And there's a story that they tell themselves over and over and over again. Can I tell you a secret? Come a little closer. Oftentimes the story is not true. Oh, I'm not lovable. That's not true. Oh, I'm not pretty. That's not true. Oh, I'm not healthy. That's not true. Because for everything that you tell me that's not true, there's a story that you've told yourself to make you believe that it's true. And sitting in silence helps us to reframe, reshape, and refocus our attention and our thinking, and helps us to create a new story. Here's the third reason why silence is so important, ladies. Silence teaches us how to notice our power and our strength. Notice what I said, how to notice our power and our strength. Because we forget how powerful we are. We forget how strong we are. And not strong in the sense of the strong Black woman, because I've done a whole video on how that's not true. But the strength that we have as individual women to do those things that we need to get done for ourselves first. And self-care is not selfish. And I did a whole video on that too. But I want you to understand that sitting in silence teaches us to notice our power. We are so powerful that we can create life. Let me say that again. We are so powerful that we can create life. Of course, God's in it, but he uses us to bring that life into being. Now, I don't know about you, but that's some powerful sugar honey iced tea right there. That's some powerful stuff. And oftentimes we forget just how powerful we really are. That the thoughts that we think become things. And if we think toxic thoughts, those toxic thoughts become toxic things. And so sitting in silence helps us to listen to the power that's within us and the strength that's within us as well. Here's the bonus. I told you I was going to give you a bonus. I gave you 3. Here's the 4th one. Number 4, silence teaches us to let go of the stories that no longer serve us. Some of y'all got some 8-track tapes. Some of y'all got some cassette tapes on rewind, and those stories are no longer serving you. As a matter of fact, the story that you're telling yourself about yourself is not even true because it's somebody else's baggage that you put in your backpack and started carrying as your own. Let me say that again. The story that you're telling yourself is not even the right story because you've taken somebody else's baggage and put it in your own backpack. And now you're carrying it on your back like it's yours. It's not even your story. It's not even your baggage. Give it back. But sitting in silence teaches us to capture those thoughts, put them back in the backpack where we got them from because it ain't ours, and to give it away. It teaches us to no longer sit in those stories that no longer serve us. I know what they used to tell you, but they is not a part of your life anymore because the stronger and the more powerful you see yourself, the more you recognize that you need to give that person back their own story that they created about you that's not even true. So those are the 4 things about why silence is so important. When I work with women in my coaching program, we sit in silence often, because there's work that's done in silence. And as they come up with their blueprint and their plan for their exceptional life, they recognize that self-care, which part of it is sitting in silence, helps to bring about clarity in purpose and identity. And once there's clarity in purpose and identity, you now walk in confidence. And when you walk in confidence, you're able to create that exceptional life that you're looking for. Ladies, you have the power, you have the strength, and it comes from within. I am here to help you. I want to help you. And I want you to remember that you are enough. There's power in your silence, and silence is your best friend. It's not the enemy. And so I want to be able to teach you more about what we talked about today. And if you're interested in that, click the link below. Let's get started. I'm ready to work with you. And I know you're ready for this 2.0 version of you that is waiting to meet you. See you next time.